Have you ever considered the hidden economic ties that bind our world? Behind the scenes, countries depend on each other more than is often realized. Today, we explore a significant aspect of this interdependence: the reality that some nations face profound economic challenges without China. This analysis focuses not on political commentary but on tangible economic factors. China's economic ascent has reshaped the global landscape. Its large-scale manufacturing, substantial demand for raw materials, and vast consumer market have created close economic links with numerous nations. For some, this represents a beneficial partnership. However, for others, this dependence is critical, potentially impacting their economic stability. Without China's investment, trade, and aid, these countries could face severe difficulties, potentially leading to economic distress. We will examine 10 countries whose economic futures are deeply intertwined with China. The inclusion of some nations might be unexpected and highlights the complex vulnerabilities within the global economy. Number 1. Australia. For many years, Australia has been recognized as a major source of natural resources. Its land holds significant deposits of iron ore, coal, natural gas, and other valuable minerals essential for global industry. These raw materials contribute to the construction of modern infrastructure, vehicles, electronics, and factories worldwide. A noteworthy aspect of Australia's resource sector is its substantial export relationship with China. This connection is extensive. Consider iron ore, a key component in steel production. China, the world's largest steel manufacturer, sources a majority of its iron ore imports from Australia. This relationship generates billions of dollars in export revenue for Australia, forming a significant portion of its national income. According to government data, iron ore sales to China have consistently represented a large share of Australia's total exports in recent years. However, this dependence creates vulnerability. If China were to reduce its purchases, perhaps due to an economic slowdown or a shift to alternative suppliers, Australia could face serious economic repercussions. This could manifest as job losses in the mining sector, strains on government budgets, and economic hardship for affected families, highlighting the fragility of this trade relationship. Coal is another significant export. Australia supplies China with both thermal coal, for electricity generation, and metallurgical coal, for steelmaking. Although global trends are shifting towards cleaner energy sources, China's current coal consumption remains high. Consequently, Australia's coal industry continues to operate, but its stability is precarious. A minor change in Chinese demand could significantly impact the sector. Number 2. Vietnam. Vietnam has emerged as a prominent player in global manufacturing. Its landscape is increasingly dotted with factories, employing a busy workforce producing goods like footwear, apparel, and electronics for international markets. Many observers view Vietnam as a robust secondary manufacturing base or even an alternative to China. However, a crucial aspect often overlooked is that Vietnam's manufacturing success is deeply interconnected with China. Much of the production process in Vietnam relies on inputs sourced from China. Textiles for garments, components for electronics, and machinery used in factories predominantly originate from its northern neighbor. Consequently, disruptions in China, such as factory shutdowns, trade disputes, or logistical slowdowns, directly impact Vietnam's manufacturing sector. Delays in receiving materials from China can halt production lines in Vietnam, leading to reduced exports, potential job losses, and increased economic pressure on families reliant on factory wages. This interdependence is not one-sided. China is also a significant market for Vietnamese exports, purchasing agricultural products like fruit, rice, and coffee, as well as an increasing volume of manufactured goods. The substantial two-way trade creates a scenario where the economic fortunes of both countries are linked. Difficulties in one can affect the other. Number 3. Malaysia. Malaysia, a nation endowed with abundant natural resources, benefits significantly from commodities like palm oil and rubber, which are in high demand globally, particularly in China. Palm oil, a common ingredient in food products and cosmetics, is purchased in large quantities by China. Rubber, crucial for manufacturing items like tires, is another major export to the Chinese market. These exports have contributed substantially to Malaysia's economy. However, this economic success is heavily reliant on China. Malaysia's dependence extends beyond raw materials. The country has become an important hub in the global electronics supply chain. Large factories manufacture electronic components and devices. Notably, many of the necessary materials for this industry are sourced from China, and a significant portion of the finished products are either exported to China or incorporated into goods manufactured there. Any disruption in China can therefore have an immediate negative impact on Malaysia's manufacturing sector. Number 4. Angola. Angola possesses significant oil reserves, a vital commodity for the global economy. For years, a large portion of Angola's oil exports has been directed to China, generating substantial revenue that has funded national development projects. Initially, this relationship appeared highly beneficial, enabling the construction of roads, railways, and bridges, often with the involvement of Chinese companies and financing. Angola seemed to be progressing, rebuilding after a period of conflict, and fostering hope for a brighter future. However, beneath this development lies a significant challenge. Angola has become heavily dependent on China, not only as the primary market for its oil but also as a major creditor. Consequently, Angola's economy is highly vulnerable to fluctuations in China's economic performance and global oil prices. A slowdown in the Chinese economy or a crash in oil prices could immediately impact Angola's national income. This could lead to job losses, halts in government projects, and a setback to aspirations for improved living standards. Number 5. Zambia. Zambia is rich in copper, a metal essential for construction, manufacturing, and emerging green technologies. While this resource endowment presents opportunities, it also creates a significant vulnerability. Zambia's economy relies heavily on copper exports, and the majority of this copper is sold to China, the world's largest consumer of the metal. For a period, this relationship brought revenue and optimism to the Zambian population. However, this situation has resulted in Zambia tying its economic fate closely to a single primary buyer. Declines in copper prices, often influenced by fluctuations in Chinese demand, directly impact Zambia's national income. Such downturns can lead to job losses, hardship for families reliant on the mining industry, and economic instability across the country. Changes in China's economic trajectory can send significant shockwaves through Zambia. Number 6. Brazil. Brazil, with its vast agricultural land and favorable climate, has become one of the world's leading food suppliers. However, beneath the surface of its productive farms and substantial harvests lies the fact that Brazil's economy has become increasingly reliant on China's significant demand for agricultural products. The most prominent example is soybeans. These beans, primarily used as animal feed for China's large livestock industry, particularly pigs and chickens, have become central to Brazil's agricultural economy. Initially, this trade relationship seemed mutually beneficial. Brazil expanded soybean cultivation, and China consistently purchased the output. This brought prosperity to farmers and spurred growth in agricultural regions. However, a sense of unease has grown among many in Brazil regarding this dependence. Concerns exist about potential disruptions, such as China reducing its purchases, trade disputes emerging, or sudden changes in Chinese import regulations. Any such event could potentially devastate the livelihoods of millions of farmers and families who depend on this trade. Number 7. South Korea. South Korea, renowned for its advanced technology sector and robust industrial base, has cultivated a deep and complex economic relationship with China. For many years, China has been one of South Korea's largest export markets, purchasing vast quantities of semiconductors, electronics, and automobiles. This initially appeared to be a highly successful partnership. South Korean corporations also established significant manufacturing operations within China, further integrating the two economies into global supply chains. However, underlying this success is a significant dependence. South Korea relies heavily on the Chinese market, particularly for its crucial semiconductor industry. These tiny yet powerful chips are fundamental components in smartphones, computers, automobiles, and countless other electronic devices. South Korea is a leading global producer of semiconductors, and China's massive electronics manufacturing industry is a primary consumer. Number 8. Thailand. Thailand, famous for its beautiful beaches, vibrant culture, and renowned cuisine, has long been a popular destination for international travelers. Tourism is a vital component of the Thai economy, and in recent years, Chinese tourists became the largest group of visitors. Their spending fueled growth in the hospitality sector. Hotels operated at high capacity, restaurants thrived, retail businesses flourished, and thousands of local residents found employment in tourism-related industries. This period seemed prosperous for the sector. However, this success concealed a vulnerability: an over-reliance on tourists from a single country, China. The fragility of this dependence became starkly evident during the COVID-19 pandemic. Global travel restrictions brought international tourism to a standstill. For Thailand, the impact was particularly severe due to the sudden absence of Chinese tourists. The abrupt cessation of arrivals from its largest source market caused a huge segment of the country's tourism economy to collapse. Hotels closed, restaurants shut down, and the livelihoods of taxi drivers, tour guides, shop owners, and countless others evaporated. Entire communities economically dependent on tourism faced devastation. This experience served as a painful lesson about the risks of concentrating economic reliance on one source. Concerns remain about potential future disruptions. What if China's economy faces difficulties? What if new travel regulations restrict outbound tourism? Thailand's tourism industry could again face a crisis. Number 9. Cambodia. In recent years, Cambodia has experienced a significant influx of investment from China. Large Chinese corporations have invested heavily in infrastructure projects, including roads, bridges, real estate developments, and hotels. China has become Cambodia's largest trading partner and the primary source of foreign direct investment. Through China's Belt and Road Initiative, Cambodia has received funding for new infrastructure, but this has come with associated risks. Initially, the development spurred by Chinese investment generated excitement. New buildings emerged, transportation networks improved, and businesses expanded. However, beneath the surface of this rapid development lies a growing concern. Much of this growth is financed by Chinese capital, resulting in Cambodia accumulating substantial debt owed to China. The obligation to repay these loans looms large. Questions arise about Cambodia's capacity to manage this debt, especially if economic conditions change or if China modifies its lending policies. The tourism sector reflects a similar dynamic. Cambodia has seen a surge in Chinese tourists visiting its attractions, such as beaches and historical sites like Angkor Wat. Their spending supported hotels, restaurants, and local businesses, creating jobs and opportunities. However, this success also brought about a heavy dependence on a single-source market. If the flow of Chinese tourists were to decrease significantly, whether due to health crises, travel policy changes, or an economic downturn in China, Cambodia's tourism industry could face an abrupt and severe downturn. Number 10. Pakistan. Pakistan has become a key participant in China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, most notably through the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC. Billions of dollars are being invested in developing infrastructure across Pakistan, including roads, ports, like Gwadar, and power plants. Initially, this large-scale investment generated considerable optimism, offering the potential for much-needed economic growth and improved connectivity. However, this development comes with a significant caveat. A large portion of the funding for CPEC projects is provided in the form of loans from China. As a result, Pakistan has accumulated substantial debt owed to China. While the new infrastructure projects are valuable assets, the mounting pressure of debt repayment is a growing concern. Questions persist about Pakistan's long-term ability to service this debt, particularly if its economy faces challenges. The potential consequences of defaulting or needing to renegotiate terms under pressure are a source of national anxiety. Pakistan is not alone in facing this complex economic reality. Across the globe, from resource-rich nations in Africa to agricultural producers in South America and manufacturing hubs in Southeast Asia, countries have experienced economic benefits linked to China's growth and investment. However, this integration has often led to increased economic fragility, dependence, and vulnerability. These economic partnerships are multifaceted, bringing opportunities for development and prosperity, but they also carry inherent risks and potential hidden costs. A significant shift in China's economy or policies could potentially trigger widespread economic repercussions. China's economic rise has undeniably reshaped global dynamics, and the situations of these 10 countries serve as compelling examples. Were you surprised by any of the countries discussed? What are your perspectives on this level of economic interdependence? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis informative, please consider liking this content, as it helps support the channel. Don't forget to subscribe for more explorations of global economic issues. Thank you for your time.